Welcome to Tofo, Mozambique. Also, what I like to call paradise. Okay, this part of the story requires a little bit of an explanation because you're going to be seeing 4 people in the next couple videos quite often. It is Catherine, Lucas, Sophia, and Quinn. Now, Catherine and Lucas, we met for a brief 5 minutes before I had to run out the door and finish recording a music video, the Acalamelia, that one? Yeah, I'll link it somewhere in the description. Anyway, met them for about 5 minutes. And then a couple days later, I moved to a different hostel in Johannesburg, and that's where I met Sophia and Quinn. We bonded over a couple bottles of gin, and we were kind of going on the same travel route, so we met up in Mozambique after I was done in Johannesburg. See, this is something that most backpackers will relate to, is that they have little travel families. You meet people, and in certain countries there are certain routes that you do, and somewhere along the line you meet people that are doing the same route as you and the same journey, going to the same spot, so you decide to travel together for a little bit. Now, my little travel family of the 5 of us, we traveled together for about a month through Mozambique and Zimbabwe. Mozambique is beautiful. It has beautiful water, that lovely warm temperature of water you can go swimming in all day. Tofo, the way that we described Tofo was that it's like the famous beach destination. Like, imagine Cancun before Cancun became Cancun of what it is today. The water's too perfect to not go in. The local transportation in Mozambique is chaos. There's no other way that I can describe it. They have the small buses, 12-seater buses, which they call choppas, and then they have the bigger buses that go the longer destinations, or the longer distances, and they're also called choppas. Now, the one day when we're traveling from Vilanculos to Chimoia to head over into Zimbabwe was a full travel day. We had to be up extremely early. We were up at around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and had to walk a couple kilometers to get on a bus, which would take us to the highway. Where we could jump on one of the bigger buses to get us to Chimoia. Now, extremely cheap to get there, and with the choppas, it's a 12-seater bus, the small ones. They pack these to the max. It's a 12-seater bus. They pack around 20 people in it, plus all of our bags. Now we had to sit on the highway in plus 32-degree heat for about 8 hours. We were hiding in the shade by a semi-truck, eating baguettes and tomatoes and cucumbers from the local market, just trying to stay out of the sun, trying to stay hydrated. Just waiting for a bus.
Waiting for a chicken bus.
Waiting for the chopper. It's gonna be a long f***ing travel day, isn't it? And eventually a bus comes. It's completely full. The next bus comes, one person gets on. The last bus, Lucas was determined. He ran to the front of the bus and he is yelling at the driver and the assistants on the bus saying, "There's 5 of us, cinco, there are 5 of us." We cram in there. There's no seats left. We're sitting in the aisles. We're sitting on our backpacks, and I have probably the best seat in the house. The roads are unbelievably ridiculous. There are car killer size potholes that the driver is swaying across the road, dodging trucks and traffic that's coming in the other direction just so he doesn't hit one of these potholes, because if he hits it, we're losing a rim, we're losing a tire. The bus would get totally f***ed up. I'm sitting right at the front beside the driver. It is hotter in the bus. There's no air movement in the bus. We're all covered, pouring in sweat. And I'm at the front of the bus watching this driver do 140 kilometers an hour down this highway, dodging car killer sized potholes. It was it was quite the drive. 6 hours of that. We arrive in the nearest town where we had to get onto another choppas. I'm sorry that there's no footage of this. We were so cramped in the buses, I couldn't get my camera out. We jump into a small choppa where they pack 25 people into this little bus plus our bags. I'm sitting on Quinn's lap, Lucas is underneath me. I can't even see where Catherine and Sophia are. They're somewhere in the back of the bus. We get going, the bus stops to drop off a couple people, the door falls off as well. No problem, quick fix, they have the wrench in the glove box. Quick fix and we're off again. We get to the next spot where they drop off people. The bus runs out of gas. So we stand there in the dark on the side of a road just waiting for the driver to come back with a couple 2-liter bottles of petrol, smoking our last few cigarettes, covered in dried sweat, soaked in fresh sweat, really tired, sunburnt, exhausted, hungry, thirsty. The driver finally makes it back with a couple of liters of petrol. We get to our hostel, we order the last beers that they have in the place and the last bottles of water, and we sleep like the dead. Whew.